let me read that.
Who's telling you to do that?
Hold on, let me read this. Someone handed him a note that says, button your shirt.
Hey.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
It's a busy day. Niall Horan is out celebrating the release of his album, The Show. It's out now.
Yeah.
He's in the bathroom.
Make sure you flush, Niall.
Make sure you wash your hands, Niall.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway, he's going to have a busy day. And usually we bring the artist in, we talk to him for a second to get ready for the... No, not with Niall. He's a member of the family.
Yeah.
He should be walking through that door any minute now.
Here he comes.
Niall Horan walks through the door.
Hey!
I hope you washed your hands after you were done in the bathroom.
No.
Oh no! He's rubbing my back. Oh my Lord! Oh, he smells delicious.
He smells really good.
You smell awesome today.
Wow.
What's going on?
Well, we went to Mallorca. You never showed up.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah. Either did the promoter, apparently.
We waited and waited, like he'll be here any minute now.
You know, when I was turning up here, they were like, they're anxiously waiting for you, and I was like, is that angrily or anxiously?
No.
Because I was like, Elvis is still here.
Well, this is the day, the show, the album we've been waiting for. Finally, I'm going to play my favorite cut from the album in a second.
Okay.
Which has to do with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with all sorts of things. It sounds so good. Anyway, enough of the album schmalbum.
Yeah. What about it?
You just came by to say hi.
Hello.
So
It hasn't been that long.
No, I know. That's the thing. It's like when Niall comes to visit, it's like, oh, he'll be here in a minute. We'll just move on with their day. But album day has got to be a big day for you. Tell me about what the day feels like for you.
Yeah, it's huge. Like I started writing this album in the middle of the pandemic, and it's finally here, June 9th, 2023. Yeah, it's been a while in the making, but like it's so good to just have it out. I've had it I handed it in at the end of last year. The label take over to make the plan, and then it's just kind of a waiting game for me, doing the rounds, doing the interviews, and now I'm just excited for everyone to just hear it.
You know, when you come out with a new album, which was written and produced, it seems like decades ago at this point, that was a different part of your life. You weren't Niall Horan then as you are Niall Horan now. I mean, is there anything on the album you're like, oh, okay, that no longer do I feel that way about that?
Yeah, sometimes, in ways, but the concept of it is quite like big picture stuff. It's like it's things that I will feel the same about for a little bit. There are some songs on it you're like, yeah, I felt about it at the time. I don't feel about it like as strongly now, but that's just the way it is. It happens every time.
You know, when you listen to the show, you're going to hear something I happen to love. And if you don't like pick music apart like we do, because we've been around for a while, you may not notice it. There's a lot of strings. There's a lot of piano. There's a lot of production pieces that are in the production of this album you don't get on other people's albums. I mean, it's a very, may I use the word lush?
Okay.
It's a lush sounding, full.
Expensive sounding.
It does sound pretty expensive. Now, is there like one real orchestra in this entire album, or is it all synthetic electronic?
No. I make sure we do it real. We do the real deal.
Really? People with like violins and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Full
quartets and stuff like that you can beef up afterwards. But yeah, I try and do everything as live as I possibly can.
Now, would you ever be in front of a live orchestra and just do it a couple of takes and it's done, or did you do the tracking?
No, we do. We have to track it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how Frank Sinatra did in the Capitol building.
Well, they're doing the Capitol building up right now. I never got access.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra would walk in, light a cigarette, the orchestra would play, he would sing a song, and go to lunch.
Yeah, that was it.
He'd have a drink and he was done.
He'd be in the pub around the corner before he knew it.
There you go. But congratulations on album day. I mean,
Thank you.
It must be like Christmas morning in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. No, it's so exciting. Like when you spend so long, like having sat with every song from start to finish, seeing how it started, like as a voice note or like me singing in a guitar riff into my phone, and then all of a sudden we're here with a whole thing that in a year's time people will be singing back to me at gigs, and like that thing that has never like gotten old. That'll never get old. If that gets old, you won't see me again.
Okay.
Now, have you started working on the next album? Because you said you handed this one in like a year ago. So does that mean you've been working on something else already?
No, I definitely have. Like I'm always writing stuff down, like ideas, like for bits and pieces. But no, you're kind of always constantly writing. But with the promotional side of things, I don't really get time to like go back into the studio and like sit and do stuff. But once I get out on the road and I'm like on the tour bus and stuff like that, I'll start writing again.
When you start writing, do you make notes in your phone or do you actually pen to paper write it down?
I used to do a lot of pen to paper, but then you just end up with like stacks of like leather bound books.
But you could sell those. Old school. eBay.
Yeah, all right. Great. Bit side hustle.
Yeah.
I'll cut you in.
There you go. Thank you.
So you organize it in your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all in there. I've got like 1,300 voice notes
Oh my God.
Whoa.
and like just layers of notes and stuff like
Is
that.
it all like award-winning stuff, or is some of it just a bunch of crap?
There's 90% of it is absolute putrid.
No, it's not crap or putrid. It's called the process.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what they call it.
But spending all this time out on the road promoting things, I think it's a big mistake. I mean, you should be a machine. You should be constantly writing and recording, never ever stopping to promote, because I mean, this is the capitalism world we live in. You need to be like a machine.
Don't breathe, don't relax.
Yeah, well, this show is kind of struggling at the moment, so I need to pop in every now and then to keep things going. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The management shows up.
Fair.
So when you sit down to actually write with an instrument, is it a guitar? Is it a piano? Is it you playing? Is it someone else?
A lot of it on this album was piano actually. Because when I started writing the record, it was right at the start of lockdown, and remember Lewis and I were meant to tour.
He's still calling, by the
yeah.
way, asking for you. I don't know what to tell him.
Yeah, he rang me yesterday. I didn't answer. So,
Yeah.
but all of my stuff was like all my guitars and stuff were all locked away because we're getting ready to go on tour. That never happened. So it was a lot of piano in the house on this record. Yeah.
What other instruments do you play?
I can play a bit of drums.
Right.
I can play guitar. I can play piano. Play bass if needed.
Wait, did you take lessons? You self-taught?
I've never had a musical lesson. I would have it. I
So you
don't have a
never do
clue.
it. Never. They say if you learn by
Wow.
ear, if you actually are taught by a professional.
Someone said button your
Yes!
shirt.
Yes! I love it now.
Wait, hold on.
Someone just signed me a piece of paper that said button
Wait,
your
hold on.
Sure.
Let me read that.
Who's telling you to do that?
Hold on. Let me read this.
Actually.
Someone handed him a note that says "button your shirt."
Hey, unbutton another one.
Wait, who wrote it? Who
Told
wrote?
them to do that.
Who did that?
Beautiful. Let me have a look. Yeah. It's still there.
You don't even have a stomach.
Summer bodies are made in summer.
Hey, Niall,
I'll get to it.
Zip up your pants, buddy.
Your people are watching you on camera.
That's so
You come out.
crazy.
This is why we shouldn't have this thing on in here, because
Damn
now we
right.
can't see Niall's tummy. What were we talking about? Something of grave importance, I'm sure. Anyway,
No, I'm not
Radio
buttoning
has
my
really
shirt.
changed, hasn't it?
Nah.
It's very visual these
it's
days.
still stuck in the past.
Oh my God.
You're going back to The Voice, right?
Yes, can't wait.
Out of all the other judges that you work with, do you have a favorite that you get on with the best?
Tough one. I got on very well with everyone. Probably Blake.
Yeah.
Like Blake and I are weirdly similar as people. We had
Is
a great.
that good or bad?
I don't know. I don't know. It's freaking me out too. No, we had such a laugh. I am looking forward. I met Gwen for the first time. Gwen's going to do the next season with us, and I met her. She surprised Blake at the after party for the last season, for his last ever show, and she was really fun.
Are they
So-
as cute together as we think
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are?
yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they're madly in love.
Madly in love. It just makes me sick
I love
to see
it.
happiness at that rate.
In Hollywood as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Nothing's supposed to happen
Exactly.
there. But you know what? What I see you doing, I don't know how it makes you feel, but what I see you guys doing as judges, when you have raw talent up there doing their thing, and you really actively want to help them find what they have inside to bring out, and that's your thing. You started out in this business with people doing that with you, I assume. And now the roles have changed. How do you feel about a life of coaching and a life of helping people find their voice?
It's really cool. What I would say is like they're on The Voice especially, they're like properly good singers. We very rarely see a bad singer, but it is amazing to like be there. I didn't realize how much like my past and coming from a show like that would play into me being on this one. Like I didn't go in as blind as I thought I was going in, just because I'd come from a show like that. I know what it's like to have been mentored. Like we had Simon, and I'm their Simon.
Right.
Yeah,
But you're kinder.
You're a nice Simon.
And he was back then.
I don't. You know what? I people thought in the early days of Idol, right? People thought Simon was just being a jackass. He was giving great sound advice.
I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
And people.
But he's mellowed since he had a child.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
no, but I want the old Simon back. All right, before we play Meltdown and talk about the importance of this particular song that's on the album, the show, which is out today. The last time two times you were with us. The first time it was our St. Patrick's Day event was canceled that we're supposed to have with you.
That's right.
And now here 2023, we're supposed to go to Mallorca with you. That was canceled. Today,
One big letdown.
Third
know.
time's a charm.
No.
Let's go. Where are we going?
Where are we going now?
we got to cancel something big, something major. What can we totally f up now with Niall?
We're bad luck, Niall.
What's coming up in the future?
We're gonna cancel your entire album. What the hell?
Let's call the whole thing off.
I know. So, Meltdown. Of course, Meltdown, featured on the show. I'm going to play it for everyone.
Okay.
This song has some great significance behind it. Do you want to take over?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I wrote this song kind of at the back end of the album. I always kind of I've written songs about kind of that anxious kind of freaking out feeling that you go through, and there's kind of two sides to the story of it, because when you're feeling anxious and you're having a bit of a moment, it's very hard to like get yourself down off it. And when someone else is going through it, it's very easy to be like, hey, it's okay, relax. You know, it's very easy to do that, and it's also very hard to be on the other side of it. So I wanted to write a song about that, and I also wanted to write a song about anxiety that was fast, because usually these types of songs are like ballad. They're like ballad led, and it's just like someone on a piano talking about their feelings. Whereas when you're going through that, your heart is actually doing fast things and your brain is moving at 100 miles an hour. So I was like, let's replicate that in the speed of the song, and let's make it like something that people can dance along to and then go, oh, that song's actually about feeling anxious and feeling like you're going to freak out.
Interesting take.
Wow.
Deep, man.
Yes, yeah.
It is, though.
It's art, man.
It is. Well, no, I love how you thought. I love how you thought that through, and we're about to hear it in its existence right now. Niall, thank you for coming in today.
It's good to see you.
Congratulations on the show. I want
Yeah.
everyone to have it in their phone by the end of this hour.
Please.
Thank you. And this is Niall and Meltdown. Excellent.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.